and loving mother determined to fight for her son. It can be a daunting challenge to pour your heart onto the page, to write candidly and courageously about things you may never even have spoken out loud. But with her trademark eloquence, Gwen bravely shines a light on her own doubts, her struggles, and her quest to push through her limits and pain as a woman in her golden years who would rather be at home in her recliner. Not only that, but she also summons the generosity to share her son Eric with the world. He was much more than just a black man in a viral video. He was a caring, compassionate man who had love as wide as the ocean. Knowing Gwen is a gift, and so is reading this book. I am grateful every day to Gwen for her friendship and for her willingness to share her ideas and perspective with me with the same honesty and eloquence that radiates from these pages. These are complicated issues, but, as Gwen points out, it's our responsibility to figure out what each of us can do to contribute. In our current political climate, reading and sharing books like Gwen's and adding our voices to hers is even more vital. And while progress is still too slow, when the opportunity arises to move forward and create real change, the policy principles Gwen has laid out in this book are a fantastic place to start. In the meantime, each of us owes it to Gwen and the mothers of the movement to ask what we can do in our own lives, to follow Gwen's lead and refuse to grow complacent. At a minimum, we can start by facing hard truths, confronting our own implicit biases, and finding the courage to speak out. And we can try harder to walk in one another's shoes. That means police officers and all of us doing everything we can to understand the effects of systemic racism that young Black and Latino men and women face every day, and how they are made to feel like their lives are disposable. It also means imagining what it's like to be a police officer, kissing his or her kids and spouse goodbye every day, and heading off to do a dangerous but necessary job. That kind of radical empathy isn't easy to come by in a time when divisions in our country run as deep as they do today. But I am convinced that it's what we need, now more than ever before. The stories of the mothers and others who have lost loved ones to gun violence and police incidents deserve to be told and heard. As Gwen writes, our children were people with hopes and dreams just like anyone else, and they deserve to be remembered for more than just their violent ending. We have got to keep saying their names. Eric Garner, Sandra Bland, Michael Brown, Jordan Davis, Dontre Hamilton, Blair Holt, Trayvon Martin, Tamir Rice, Hadia Pendleton. The list goes on. This cannot be seen as a political issue. It can and must be seen as an issue of fundamental justice and basic human decency. We should insist on nothing less from politicians, candidates, and anyone hoping to lead. The killing and mistreatment of young Black men and women has been the reality of life in America for too long. But we can't accept it as our inevitable future. Let's take Gwen's words to heart and ensure that this stops today.
Chapter 1. South Brooklyn. Angels in heaven, hear my plea. Take care of my baby, just for me. Unknown. On July 17th, 2014, I was working my job as a train operator for the New York Metropolitan Transit Authority, MTA. I had just driven to Queens, and I was taking a break when my phone started blowing up. Calls, messages, they just kept coming. I was underground and totally unaware of the happenings in the bustling city above. I could tell from the sheer volume of messages that something was wrong, but I was working and couldn't get the whole story.